What's up guys? In today's video I'm going to be reacting to DM pitches that I get in my inbox on a regular basis over social media, over email. I've got a ton of different social media accounts and we're going to be looking at what ones are good and what ones are bad and what the people who sent me the bad pitches should actually be saying. I'll also give them a rating as well. Each month I probably get a total of 100 or so pitches and I never buy from anyone, so there's probably a reason for that, and let's dig into it. First up, we got Hector, and Hector has sent me 2 audio pitches here. He sent me them a day apart, so I'm assuming the second one is a follow-up message to the first one. Let's listen to them and see what they say.
Yo, Rob, all right, listen straight up. I'd love to make you an offer, but only if it's all good with you.
Ooh, so do you know what I'm going to say back to this? Let's just listen to that bit again.
Yo, Rob, all right, listen straight up. I'd love to make you an offer, but only if it's all good with you.
Yo, Rob, listen straight up. I'd love to make you an offer, but only if it's all good with you. The first thing, first of all, let me just say, Hector sent me a voice audio message here, and it takes balls to send a cold message to some people, but Hector sent me an actual audio here, so he's probably had to record this a few times until he's got it right. So it takes balls to do that, so fair play that he's actually messaging. But the first thing I noticed is when he messaged me, is that it sounds really stilted. It sounds like he's reading off a script. So first of all, I'm assuming that he doesn't know what he's supposed to be saying. He's said this script, he's delivered this script, and I'm assuming it's supposed to be in a manner of where it's like a quick thought. Like he's come across my profile and he's thought, you know, I'll shoot this guy a DM, and he's been like, yo, Rob, listen up. But instead, he's come across as quite robotic. It's like, yo, Rob, listen up. I'd love to make you an offer, but only if it's okay with you. Doesn't sound casual at all. So my first recommendation to Hector would be to go away and to read that script out loud to himself 20 to 30 times so he has got it as natural as possible, and he'll get a better reply rate to that. So rather than, yo, Rob, listen up, it could just be like, hey, Rob, just come across your profile. I'd love to make you an offer on, this is what my blah, 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 blah. A lot more energy, a lot more enthusiastic. There's a great book called Wolf of Wall Street. Everyone knows Wolf of Wall Street, right? And he talks about tonality and I did a book review on it, so go and watch that video. I'll link it in the video right now. But basically, he talks about how saying something with enthusiasm can help people buy from you, basically. Let's listen to the rest.
So it's about helping you double your monthly coaching revenue using YouTube VSLs in only about 1 hour of your time per week. I feel a bit cheeky pitching you without your permission though, because like you probably hate that. So if you're keen, just go ahead and send over a thumbs up and I'll send over a quick video explaining how we do this.
Okay, let's break this down a little bit further. First of all, he says, double your monthly coaching revenue. The thing is, with pitches like these, he has no idea what my monthly coaching revenue is. I know he has no idea because I don't have it anywhere online, and I do that deliberately, right? So I could be doing nothing a month, in which case it'd be very, very easy for him to, you know, double my revenue, right? Or get me an impressive result. Or I could be doing $1 million a month, right? And he is going to be biting off way more than he can chew. And that's the problem with blanket pitches like these. And what I'm assuming's happened here with Hector is he's bought one of these SMMA courses which teach you how to build a business. But the problem is, and they've laid out all these scripts and they say, you know, just go out there and say this certain script to in 100 messages a day to different people and you'll absolutely get clients. But the problem is a lot of these people who are running these SMMA courses have never done this themselves. They've just literally created this script on the spot while they're creating the course and then sold the course. So it doesn't take me very much to see through this and be like, because I've ran lead generation agencies before, and it doesn't take me very much to look through this and be like, that's not I don't think that would be effective anywhere, right? Let's just listen to the end bit again.
I feel a bit cheeky pitching you without your permission though, because like you probably hate that. So if you're keen, just go ahead and send over a thumbs up and I'll send over a quick video explaining how we do this.
So what he's doing there is he's asking for a low commitment step. Rather than asking for a reply, he knows that a lot of people might read that message And rather than typing a reply back, it's easier for them just to send a thumbs up. And what happens here is if you think that you pitch 100 people per day and you expect a message back, right? Only 10 might send you a message back. But if you ask for just a thumbs up, which is a low commitment step, you might get 15 back. But here's what I've learned about marketing over time, right? Low commitment steps sound great when you're asking for a low commitment step from a person. But the problem is that people who give you a low commitment step and who will give you that thumbs up back, they will never buy from you. And the reason why is they are never hooked enough at the start, right? You can make the journey as easy for them as possible, but in psychology, when people buy, when people convert into a customer, essentially people buy with emotion and then they justify it with logic afterwards. They come back and they're like, you know, that was an amazing decision by me. I'm totally in for this. And if you're asking for low commitment steps from these people here, like, it's never really gonna, they're never really sold enough to give you a high commitment step. Remember, they make the decision first with emotion and then they justify it with logic afterwards. So there's no emotion if a person is just giving you a thumbs up. All right.
Hey Rob, is that all good with you?
So he's followed up a day later with a message saying, hey Rob, is that all good with you? And there's nothing wrong with following up. But here's what I would say for this. It's a lot of time and effort to send out audio messages to people, because I know he's probably held the record button and he's tried to say this message about 20 times. And then when he has said the message about 20 times and he's finally got it right and he's come across a version which he can actually send to me, it's still come across as stilted, right? So the problem is with an interaction like this is it's coming across very, very unnatural. Here's what I would do, Hector, to save you time. I would send a text DM to people, opening the conversation. And then what I would do afterwards is I would then send the audio message as the second message. People hide away. As society has went on more and more in 2023, you know, you've seen all the rates, right? Loneliness is the highest it's ever been. And people now cocoon away, particularly after they've been locked in the houses for a few years. I don't know why they do this. I think it's just they're in the habit of not really socializing anymore. But people would struggle to reply to this before they were locked away for a few years, you know, with everything going on in the world. But now I think that it'd be very, very hard to get a reply rate to that. So I would send a text message first, which is a low commitment step from your end. Once they reply, then send a natural conversation audio message replying to what they have actually said, as if you're having a conversation. You can practice this and get better speaking all the time by filming videos like this. You don't have to make your YouTube channel public. You can just make it private and speak to the camera. Talk about what you did yesterday. It makes you better at talking. Or you can do what I do, which is I send voice messages to my friends all the time. I'm just like, hey man, just seen this, blah, 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 blah. And it teaches me how to be natural in conversation. And guess what? When I meet a prospect who I actually think, oh, you know, this person could do with an audio message, perhaps they're more high value and I want them to hear my voice because hearing a voice builds up trust. I would, you know, send the audio message to them and it would be much more natural in conversation. Okay, great, Hex. So you just got some free coaching. Let's look at Graham next. Hey, Hun, I'm so sorry to bother you over this. I'm contesting for an ambassador spot to promote a puppy support, and I get some weird things over Instagram, I'll tell you what. Next, let's look into one of my LinkedIn accounts. And we can see we've got 30 connection requests here. People, we've got Jonas, first of all. His headline is, we help businesses unlock 20 times ROI, interested in a case study. Now, the thing is with a headline like this worked very, very well in 2018. But now, because it's 2023 and on LinkedIn, I'm more familiar to being pitched on LinkedIn now. Like, that's just how the platform's evolved over years. I straight away think that this person, I'm going to accept this person's connection request. And then after that, I am going to get pitched straight away by him, right? Interested in a case study. I know I'm going to accept that and he's going to message me saying, blah, 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 would you like me to send you a case study? Instead, what he should do is include a web link there or offer some free value. This is called reciprocation bias, right? So he should offer something free, and then in that sense, I will probably think, oh, you know, this guy is actually very, very interesting, right? Rather than baiting the case study. We've got Bilal when we scroll down a little. This is me, Bilal. I can't message you, but I have something for you. If you just follow me back or message me so we can have a chat. It's related to your YouTube channel and what you have been working for almost 2 years. This person is going to offer me video editing, or it's going to offer me, thumbnail editing or something to do with YouTube Shorts. I know because I get messages like this all the time. What a better approach for Bilal here would be to say, hey, I've watched your video and I liked it because of A, B, and C. Leave it like that. Start the conversation with me and then go in with the pitch, right? It's just he has to get through this initial barrier of actually getting accepted in the connection request. And we've got this person here. I'm really sorry I can't pronounce your name. I hope this message finds you well. I came across your profile and I was impressed by the extensive experience and expertise in your industry. I will be honored to connect with you and be part of your professional network. So this person is most likely going to pitch me as well because they are working in digital marketing. What does this person do? Helping digital marketing agencies optimize their workflows. So he sent me a super generic message, which means it's probably part of automation. I came across your profile. I was impressed by your extensive experience and expertise in the industry. All right. If we scroll down a little bit, I reckon we could probably find something else which is also generic like this. Facebook ads expert Milton here, excited to connect with a fellow professional on LinkedIn. Let's expand our network and help each other grow our careers. Generic, right? I must say you have a very impressive profile, says Stefan. I'd love to link up. What does that mean? Has anyone viewed a LinkedIn profile and thought to themselves, damn, that's impressive? Probably not, right? And it's just one of those things. This person's went in with a rhetorical question. Do you ever feel overwhelmed trying to grow your online business with so many tools, websites, emails, automation? Here's what I would do, guys. So we've got a problem here, and it's a consistent problem. Assuming there's a lot of people here that I am going to get pitched by, so I don't accept their connection request. I also have some people who have obviously not read my profile and are trying to segue into a conversation. If you wouldn't say something to a person in real life, but you feel comfortable sending the same message on LinkedIn, is a key sign that basically, you shouldn't be sending this message to people, right? So here's what I would do. I would send a blank connection request because you could write the best message ever when you're trying to connect with people on LinkedIn. Most people won't connect even if you send the best connection request message ever, right? I would send a blank connection request and I would offer free value within your headline. I would then start a conversation with them and segue in, right? You will be doing way less work if you actually do that, right? And you start a conversation in a way which they don't think they're going to get pitched. I've got a whole course on this stuff. And I've made countless videos on it as well. Start the relationship first and then actively after that move towards the pitch. But the problem is I'm sure it's like when you see the salesman at your door, or you see the salesman, stood in the city centre, right? And he's handing out leaflets for things and he's trying to sign you up to some sort of charity, right? And you will actively put your headphones in and walk around him because of the impression that he gives off originally. So if this person wasn't giving off that impression, you would be more open to the conversation. The same thing works online as well. You've got these they're called knee-jerk objections now, which happen in your head. And it's talked about in the book Fanatical Prospecting by Jeb Blunt. It's a great book, by the way. And he says that the way to get through knee-jerk reactions is to handle the objection almost before it even happens, right? So if you think about the salesman stood in the city centre, he's dressed in clothes that signify, and he's got leaflets in his hands, probably got like some sort of badge around his neck, right? He's dressed in a way which looks like he's a salesman. If he wasn't dressed in that way, and if he was, stood in maybe a different area, if he was a bit more casual and he started a conversation with you, you probably at least listen to the first sentence, right? The same thing with these guys here. There's different barriers to the sales game. One is actually getting in touch at all, the first point of contact. The second one is moving towards the pitch. The third one is doing the pitch but doing it right. And then the third one is moving on to the close, right? The fourth one is moving on to the close. There's different levels of this, and people forget there's different levels to this and different sort of things you have to get through, and instead they try and cram everything into the first message. They're trying to go through stage 1, 2, 3 in the first message. Don't do that. Stage one at a time. We've got Ben here, who I've never had a previous conversation with before. He sent me a cold message saying, "Hey Rob, quick update. I've launched a fresh newsletter that's all about sweet spot between business and travel. If you're curious to uncover cool business hacks while trying..." He's pitched me on his newsletter, although we've never spoken before. This is a big problem because I am never in a million years going to sign up to some random newsletter for a person that I don't know. This is the same as getting junk mail through your letterbox, right? I don't need the junk mail at all. I scan through it and I'm like, oh, these guys want my money, goodbye, right? He would be better again, starting that conversation, building up that relationship a little bit, and following up with me in the future to see if I'd be interested in joining his newsletter. And he'd be better off finding out if I'm actually interested in business and travel. He knows I'm interested in business, but what about travel? I gave no clue away that I'm interested in travel. So that would be something that he needs to do. We've got Mulis here. Mulis has sent me a very, very polite message, and I love that he sent me a polite message. It's non-intrusive, it's non-pitchy, it's not making my skin crawl at all. It says, "Hello sir, I'm a 19-year-old developer, designer, and digital marketer. I came across your YouTube channel and stalked you, formally speaking." It's got a little bit of humor in there as well, so I would rate this a little bit higher than some of the other pitches we've seen. So here I am offering you my services. Your videos and website can look better. I can help you with that. If Mulis is watching, I think that's how you pronounce your name. I'm so sorry if it's not. But he's got two ways of doing this. He can either start the conversation first in that same polite tone. I would respond to him. If he didn't start the conversation first in this polite tone, he said, your videos and websites can look better. And then he's went on to sell himself here. The message is a bit too long. It's all bunched together in a big group of text here. But basically, he could say specifically, "Hey, I've looked at this video here or this part of your website. This is what it currently looks like. This is what I think it should look like. And this would be the benefit for you." Most of these pictures do not have what the benefit for me in there would be, right? Most business owners I've spoken to who aren't in the marketing field, who are barely in the business field, to be honest with you, they don't understand the actual benefit to them of the service you're trying to offer. They don't understand like what this could actually do for them. So if you did change a video of mine, what would it do for me? Would it increase the CTR, the click-through rate? Would it increase the watch time as well? Would it encourage more people to buy my products? In which case, has he got some sort of case study which says what the average percent of the result of improving those videos and the website would be for me, right? Would it encourage 5% more people to click through? Does he predict this is what my click-through rate of my videos are? My website, what about it exactly is wrong? Could it be more persuasive? What part exactly does he think that people are dropping out at? Because that's what I care about as a business owner, right? Increasing revenues. Okay, so that's all I've got time for today. Hopefully that was useful, me racing through those examples there. Remember, when you are pitching people, everyone you're pitching, you're not pitching a business, you're pitching people. So you have to speak in a way which humans recognize, right? Building up rapport, building up conversation with people, having it very, very natural. But also, if you're thinking more of leaning towards just the direct pitch to get things done, you have to realize that people respond to reward. I need to be incentivized that what you're offering me is actually going to help me. And if it is going to help me, how specifically is it going to help me? And what specifically have you seen which could need adjusting? A busy business owner like myself won't have time to make these changes. So don't be afraid of actually telling me what specifically needs to change, because I'm going to be like, you know what, you're right. Can you actually make that improvement there so I will get X result? Okay, great. Sure, I will become your client. I will buy from you, right? Hope you found that video useful. See you in the next one. Take it easy.